Okay, let's bring on board our two guests joining us on the show for Buy Now, Sell Now. Kunal Bothra for the technicals and Ashish Kapur for the fundamentals. Good morning, both of you, and welcome aboard. Kunal, very quickly then, what are the trading calls for the day?
My ideas, rather one buy and one sell idea. The first one is a buy on Hero Motor Corp. I think it's an interesting chart in the making, heading towards a very, very strong breakout, almost a 200 to 300 point breakout possible for Hero Motor Corp. Buy with a target of 2550. Stop loss to be kept at 2400. Second would be a sell on BPCL. The stock has shied away again, from its day's high 473, 475 is acting as a major resistance for BPCL, and keeping that as a stop loss, I would suggest a short on BPCL. Targets to be kept at 415, stop loss 475.
All right, so one hold and one sell and one buy coming in from Kunal. Ashish, what are your wealth creation bet?
I really think that this is going to be a great time ahead for mid-cap, quality mid-cap stocks. So it's a great time to do some good value picking in the mid-cap space. Given that both my ideas are in the mid-cap space, first idea is VIP Industries. Now, this company is a clear leader in the luggage and the bag segment. Very dominant position and very strong growth prospects, given the fact that 60% of the industry currently is unorganized, and given the rollout of GST and other initiatives, the industry is set to move towards the branded players, and in that, this player has a clear advantage. It also has an advantage of very well established brands, very good strong product portfolio, nationwide distribution network, and also management credentials which are very strong. So given all that, and given the fact that it enjoys a very high return on equity of 25%, I think this is clearly a stock which can really do very well going ahead. So this is the first mid-cap idea. The second one is, and in VIP Industries, our target is 575 with a 1 year's time frame. The second is L&T Finance. Here again, despite the slowdown in the entire space, the company has been able to hold itself. The top line did not do very well, but overall the operating fundamentals really improved. The cash on the balance sheet has nearly doubled. The company has been able to hold on to its NPA levels. Also, asset quality has improved. The company is expanding very well, has very strong credentials, and also their asset management subsidiary is also doing very well. So given everything, and this is another good stock idea here, the target is 200. And also one very strong point here is the company is a very strong ROE of 17%, which it enjoys. So given all that, this is another good stock idea which one can buy with a target of 200 with a 1 year's perspective. And I'll also ask for a multi-bagger idea, that is Heidelberg Cement. Now this earlier also. Okay, sure.
Ashish, what is your sense on Maharashtra Seamless? How are the growth prospects for the company? Would you believe that it's a good idea to add on to it?
Yes, I think it's a good idea to add on to it. Prospects are fairly encouraging, and also more importantly, the stock is now trading at a very attractive valuation. So I think it's a quality stock, quality mid-cap stock. So getting it at a good level, not only should you hold on, you should try and buy more.
Okay, so that's the verdict on Maharashtra Seamless. Mr. Vishwanath wanted to also ask about Vardhman Textiles. Kunal, how are you looking at the chart for this one?
Well, I don't track the stock, that often, but I think, looking at the chart history is not something which is, very, very attractive on the, on the textile front stocks. I think we've bought, I think, at 800 plus levels. I would, suggest that if you can probably look to shift and, get into some other kind of, stock, I think Century Textile could be a good stock. But if you're holding on to, Vardhman Textile from a longer term view, then, either you can keep a stop loss of, I would say 980, 985 from current levels, or if you're looking to buy some other textile names, then I believe, Century Textile offers a, good prospect from current levels. I think the stock can probably, give an upside of almost 15-20% further from current levels.
Ashish, how is the textiles basket looking at this point in time? Are the challenges with respect to raw material, etc., behind us?
I think challenges remain, but Vardhman clearly is not only a leader, is also one of the better managed companies. So And having bought into it, I don't see any reason why the investor should look at exiting. I think it's a company which has, even in the past, created very good shareholder value, and I don't see anything changing. Yes, currently it's not doing very well. The sector also is facing a lot of headwinds, but I mean, I think these things change with time. So as long as he's not in a hurry to exit, certainly he can hold on. And in my opinion, if he has more funds available for the long run, could look to add more on dips.
Okay, well, Mr. Vishwanath, I hope you're satisfied with what both of our experts had to offer in terms of their comment and advice from both of these stocks. Thank you for calling us. Rajeshwari joins us now. She's also calling us from Tamil Nadu. Morning, what's your query?
Good morning, ma'am. Nice to talk to you, ma'am.
Same here, same here.
Yes, ma'am. I have two queries, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 100 shares of GNFC.
Okay.
I bought at the rate of 165.
Okay.
This share I bought as per recommendation which was given by Mr. Kunal, sir.
Oh, all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So I'm just 2 weeks back. That was about, I think,
And you've already made money on this one?
Yes, ma'am. I have made nearly 5,000 rupees right now. 100 shares. And I have another query, ma'am. This is about Manappuram Finance, ma'am.
Okay.
I have bought 100 shares at the rate of 102 rupees per share, ma'am.
Okay. So would you want to stay invested in it for the long term, or are you looking at a pure short-term trading perspective?
No, ma'am. I'm a long-term investor, and I would like to know the future aspects, ma'am.
Okay.
Can I accumulate more share on Manappuram, ma'am? I would have query else.
Okay, so we'll try and address that as well. First, let's talk about GNFC. Kunal, well, your viewers are clearly benefiting from all the tips and all the picks that you've been giving to them, and already she's earned a good amount of money. Should she stay put?
I think for GNFC, yes, you should definitely stay put. And the reason for that is, look at the last, I think, quarterly charts for GNFC. If I'm not wrong, it had almost 6 straight quarters of price correction. From 500, 540 levels, it went to almost 150, 170 kind of drop. So it was a very sharp correction for GNFC, and this is the first quarter where you're seeing some sort of revival. Now, when you generally see such a sharp correction on multi-year charts, you generally expect that the revival is not just 1 or 2 quarters, but it could be more prolonged in nature. And even if that happens, it could be at least a 50% retracement of the entire fall. So I think that opens up targets for GNFC to almost to the tune of 290, 300, provided you have a longer term time frame. So if your time frame is not a concern, then I believe you should hold on to GNFC.
Ashish, do you agree? How are the prospects of GNSC going by the fundamentals and the earnings visibility?
Well, I agree. I think GNFC certainly is one of the better managed fertilizer player, and I think the overall sentiment in chemicals and fertilizers is certainly very buoyant. I haven't tracked it recently, but I really think that GNFC is one of the better counters and should continue to generate long-term wealth.
Consensus thumbs up then Rajeshwari for GNFC. Let's also talk about Manappuram. Kunal, good idea to add more of this at the current price?
Yeah, and I think this is the most important and interesting part for all the viewers who have bought stocks at lower levels, and if the stocks are up 40-50%, in this case I think the stock is up almost 75% from the viewers buy price of 100-ish. So I think when you're looking to buy on average, I think that's also a very important opportunity for you to try and increase your quantity and then hold on to it from a longer term view. The good part about Manappuram stock price trend is that it's very stable. It doesn't see periods of very high volatility. I think the best case scenario is that the stock goes through sideways range. So I think buying on, or averaging on high is also a very important, strategy for stocks like these. I would recommend that you should average, but if you can slightly better your entry point to 180 or 178, I think that could be a good opportunity if the stock provides that dip.
Okay. Ashish, do you agree with Kunal on Manappuram?
Yeah, I agree. I think Manappuram, along with some other better managed NBFCs, are clearly going to do very well going forward. A lot of consolidation has happened in the industry already, and I think Manappuram also is an advantage of clear segments in which they focus. So yes, I think it will continue to create good shareholder wealth going forward.
All right, Rajeshwari, there you have it. Both of our experts' opinions on both of your queries. Thank you so much for calling us. Okay, next up is a WhatsApp video call from Sandeep. He's joining us from Nasik. Hi, Sandeep. What's your query? I think we'll have to reconnect with him because okay, he's back with us. Sandeep, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Sandeep. Thanks for calling us. Tell us what are the stocks you would like to ask our viewers, ask our experts about?
First one is Bharti Airtel.
Okay.
And I have 120 shares at a price of 308. And I'd like to know what are the prospects, because there are only two major players in telecom sectors like Jio and Bharti. So shall I hold or shall I sell off?
Okay.
That is first.
Okay. So let's address the first one. Kunal, coming on Bharti Airtel, Sandeep has entered into it perhaps a tad bit early. So he's sitting on good gains. The stock is, in fact, hovering around those 52-week highs, a tad below that, but almost around those levels. What would be your call at this juncture?
Not on the quantity of what the viewer said, but assuming that it's a 100 share which you have bought at lower levels, then I believe you should have a two-pronged strategy. If you can look to trade over here for slight better gains, then I believe you should book out 50% of your profits for Bharti Airtel over here, and then wait for a decent enough correction, at least a 480 to 500 kind of a correction for Bharti Airtel, and then look to buy back the quantity again over there. Now the clear reason for that is two time frames. One, on the very short term charts, the indicators have got back into an extremely overbought territory. So the prices are heated up at these levels and generally they cool off. So I think the cool off could be at least to the tune of 4-5% into the stock price. So if you can trade in that sense, it could be a very good opportunity. But remember that the stock has already given you a big breakout of a 8 to 9 year consolidation channel. So longer term prospects are extremely positive for Bharti Airtel. But just as a short term trade, if you want to do, then you can look to book part profits over here and buy back again sub those 500 mark.
All right. Let's talk about the fundamentals then. Ashish, the telecom space has been mired by a lot of negative news flow, a lot of concerns, competitive pressure, AGR dues. But despite that, the stock performance has been quite impressive for Bharti Airtel as opposed to its other listed peer, which is Vodafone Idea. Talk to us about the fundamentals of this company and how do you see it perform in times to come?
Well, firstly, I think I would say that the investor did very well. I must congratulate him because he got it into Bharti at a very good time, at a very good rate. And I don't see any reason why he should try to trade or do anything with it. I think just stay put, stay invested. You got a winner at a very good price. And but I say winner, it really means because going ahead, clearly this seems to be an industry with only two players left, like you rightly pointed out. And even if the third one survives, I really think that between Jio and Airtel, they have the market with them. And also very importantly, pricing pressure is coming back into the industry. The woes are all in the price. I mean, whatever you talk about, AGR dues, other problems, they're already built in the price. So market is not looking at what is the current or what is the past. The market is clearly looking at the future. In the future, with pricing power coming back, only two strong players left. Telecom sector is certainly getting re-rated, and since within the two players only, Bharti is a direct player, direct play on telecom. The other one is part of the Reliance conglomerate. So Bharti Airtel will continue to get good traction in the share price, and I think going forward you will continue to do very well. So stay put, do not try to trade, just stay invested. In fact, if a decline does come, look at adding more, but do not be in a hurry to sell. I think the next couple of years you could really see this stock gaining a lot more from here.
Okay, that's the verdict on Bharti Airtel. Sandeep, what's your second query?
Second query is regarding HDFC Life.
All right.
Because yesterday results for HDFC Life have been out and slightly on a lower side than the last quarter. So I would like to know what are the decline in the prices and shall we go ahead and accumulate that?
Okay, Kunal, what would you like to say to this?
Again, I think yesterday also we had a very similar query on
Yeah.
HDFC Life, and the suggestion which I gave yesterday and remains, of course, today as well, that the stock is I would say it should be held on to from a longer term view. But since you've bought at the slightly upper end of the price curve, then I think you should need some strategy to try and average and reduce your cost price. I think there is a ample enough evidence that the stock has good support at 560, 570 levels. That is where I think the stock bounced off just about recently. So I think in that regards, you've bought at a good stock, but I think the price is a bit elevated. Wait for some bit of more correction. I think if the stock comes back to 570 mark, look to average further, bring your cost price lower, increase your quantity, and then hold on to it from a longer term view.
All right. Okay. Do you also believe that HDFC Life is poised to perform well, Ashish?
Yes, certainly it is. I think the only argument can be on the valuation, but given the fact that the company enjoys a premium status and also the fact that the industry is at a very good traction point, I think the high expensive valuation is set to remain. So I think life insurance is one of the very good sectors to stay invested in India. I think the next many years is going to continue seeing growth. And HDFC Life is certainly one of the best, if not one of the better, if not the best managed players here, and will continue to get very good valuation. So I think there is no question about it. If you're a long-term investor, use the current declines to buy, and this again could be a great capital multiplier going forward.
Okay, that's the call on HDFC Life and Bharti Airtel. Sandeep, great chatting with you. Thank you so much for calling us on BNSL. Okay, we have time for one last call for the day. It's Vijay, another caller from Chennai. We've been getting quite a few calls from down south. So Vijay joins us now from Chennai. Good morning. What's your query?
I bought 100 shares of Midcap.
Right.
Price of 300.
Okay.
Price of 300. So I want to know what is the future of that. I'm a long-term investor.
Okay. So you bought it at 300 rupees. The stock has, sort of definitely given you some returns already on this one, and you're a long-term investor, so time is definitely not a constraint. Kunal, should he continue to hold on to this? Could he perhaps add on to some more stocks in this one?
You can look to add on to the stock price for Indiabulls Housing, but then there are certain I would say characteristics or behavioral traits which you have to understand for the stock. So one of them is that it's traditionally a very high beta stock, but it's just that in the last few months, since the news flow has ebbed off for Indiabulls Housing, the volatility has dropped. So you don't see big price swings which happens on short-term time frame. So that probably is a positive. If that remains and persists, then there is a possibility that the stock can go to a gradual upside. Now, on the short-term charts, the stock has just about given a breakout, I think today about those 320 levels. So that's also another positive. It generally indicates that maybe, over the next 1 or 2 weeks, there could be possibility that the stock can come back to 350-ish kind of level. So it's a good short-term trading bet, but the only catch is the news flow and the volatility, which historically has been very high for Indiabulls Housing.
Okay, well, moving on then, we'll have to address the flashes on our screens as well. Thank you so much for calling us, Vijay, Ashish and Kunal as well. Many thanks for joining us on the show today.